Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse, but if he does, he could lose everything.
What is Path of the Pale Rider anyway? Is it a comic book? No, that's not it. Is it this? What the heck is Path of the Pale Rider, man? There's no way this is right. How about this?
I have no idea.
We're gonna rob a bank.
Oh, it's this.
The Madness Comic Network and Comic Related Madness proudly presents Madness Tuesday Morning Brew. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Ooh, hello everybody. It is Tuesday, and we are here with our coffee and another guest to talk about nerd culture, comic books, and podcasting this week. I never set out to be a podcaster. It just kind of happened, but it's a amazing way to connect with people and to find an audience, people that like what you do. So I today have Ryan on, and Ryan is one of the hardest working podcasters in the game right now. We'll bring him on in just a second. For those of you who missed last week, I just want to remind you that we did smash a pumpkin on the live on Halloween. We tried to light it on fire. It didn't quite go, but I have a plan now how to modify this modified sledgehammer so that way we can light it on fire every time and smash things as they go up in flames. So I look forward to the next Slice and Dice, and I think that there's going to be a standing bet out there within the Pale Rider world to see how many times we can slice and dice and have this wooden stool survive it. So far, it has survived two slices and dices, once with the Indonesian short sword and with the modified sledgehammer. We'll see how many, it's like how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? It's going to be like how many swings does it take? How many slice and dices does it take to destroy the wooden stool? We'll see. There was some disappointment that the stool didn't go down with the sledgehammer, but I think I did a good job of trying to maintain the damage just to the pumpkin. Good morning, Brandon. Yes, I think it was Brandon who voiced his displeasure at the stool surviving the encounter. Now, if I had just slung the sledgehammer. If I had just had that and the stool without the modification, the piece of wood that we attached, it would have gone down for sure. Oh, he wants the stool dead. At some point, it'll happen. We'll have to see. And I bet you if I light enough things on fire, it'll go. Now, the people that were watching were saying that was a saving grace. We did have some protection. I had my whatchamacallit, fire deterrent. There was the walking stool. You're hilarious. It's a dead stool, but it keeps coming back. That's funny. So we'll see. We'll see if I can light things on fire and destroy more things in the future. We're going to have more Kickstarters, of course. So there'll be more opportunities to slice and dice. One of the runners up from the weapon was the fantasy machete. And if you haven't seen the fantasy machete, good morning, everybody. Howdy, Chris. Good morning, Glenn. Lori, Glenn. If you haven't seen the fantasy machete, we'll have to make sure that we get that one out next time. It's pretty gnarly looking and it can do a lot of damage. It's actually the longest sword that I have. So I can, stab and slice from a good distance away. You'll take one for the team. You're going to set. Oh, no. We're not doing that. Nope. Thank you, Brandon, for wanting to take one for the team, but we're not going to set people on fire. That's just generally a no-no. I'm pretty sure that the video will get flagged and taken down everywhere for all time. 10K stretch goal. We'll light Brandon Starochi on fire. I mean, we could. I don't know. That would. I'm not going to be responsible for that, dude. You're going to end up in the hospital. What I am doing right now, Marco and I are going through and placing all the pages for issue number 4. So we're making sure that we have enough space. We had this great idea to combine 2 issues, and now we're like, whoa, there's way too much stuff to put in this issue. So we're combining all the things, and we're making sure everything has enough breathing room for good impact. And Chris Hayes, this is the issue. This is the issue that gets you, right? This is the one that got you. That's where we are in the story. So there's lots of good things happening in this next issue. We want to make sure that there's enough room for all of it to happen in a way that people can have the most impact. Good luck. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a wild ride. And then the next one is worse. So there's that. Hello, Wolfer. Good morning. Everybody's here this morning. So that's what Marco and I are doing. Matt is just very patiently or impatiently waiting for pages. Actually, he's chomping at the bit. He's very excited to start coloring. So we'll get there very soon. And then I am working on the short film. I actually started at the end. I'm working on the credits with all the zombified pictures, and they're turning out really good. I should be finished with that today or tomorrow, the last couple minutes of the short film. And I might do a teaser so you guys can see some of the stuff that's going to be there. I won't share the whole thing because no spoilers, but you get to see a couple, maybe 30 seconds of that end part and how it's going to look. So there was actually 40 pictures that we zombified. So there was quite a few people that participated in the short film, which is great. And then I'll be looking to film my actors hopefully this weekend. I got to touch base with them, but we need to do some filming. We will have the drone out. We'll be doing all sorts of shenanigans, and my neighbors will all think I'm crazy because I am. So, but we're going to have fun doing it. Speaking of crazy, let's bring in our guest. How's that for a segue? Hi, Ryan. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here, and to all the kind people in the chat. Howdy. Good to see you. Yeah.
He's very, very calm and composed. Howdy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that fits because I am a Texan and I usually wear the big old hats, but just not.
Not today. I
Not
didn't
today.
feel like it. I
The
crawled out of
cowboy
bed.
hat
My hair
is,
wasn't looking right. And I'm like, it's not going to look good under this hat.
Oh, you were going to wear a hat today too?
No. I'm just making a silly comment about the fact that you're not wearing your hat, but it's okay.
I know. I wore the hat to the Western Review. Well, kind of. The problem is that the green screen doesn't like it, so I put the hat on and the top half of my head disappears. It's pretty funny.
It's okay. Technology can be fickle that way, but it's good to be here. Thanks for having me. This ought to be fun.
Thank you. Good morning, Max. So, like I said, Ryan, I feel like you are one of the hardest working podcasters in the game right now. And so let's count. Will you name off the shows that you host?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
just name them off.
It's quite a lot. So
I know. I got 2 hands, so we'll see if it's more than mine.
All right, let's see if we can fill up 2 hands here, guys.
Yeah,
2 handfuls of free donuts and coffee for everybody in the studio.
Ooh, coffee.
Yeah, hashtag we got.
I'm ready.
We got non-existent sponsors, but they're coming. But anyway, so here's what I do. First of all, I'm a podcast host and producer. I run the shows, and I quote. That's one of them. Glenn B. Fleming, it's good to see you, my good friend.
Ryan!
I know. He always, puts a lot of different, the same letters over and over and over again. He's like,
that's how he says it in my head. That's what I hear when he goes,
he's at the top of Mount Everest or the top of K2, just yelling at everybody's
Adrian,
like drag out. It's just
anyway. That's what I hear in my head is Rocky.
It's the Rocky.
Glenn.
It's the Rocky.
That's what I hear, Glenn.
Yeah. So here's the 2 handfuls of shows.
So,
that
and I quote.
We got and I quote. We got the Nerdy Cantina,
2,
where we talk about all things Star Wars because Star Wars is great. The Meaning of Fandom. That's another one.
I still have to go on that one.
You got to giddy up your path of the Pale Rider horse.
I'm working on it.
That show.
Hey man, I've been busy. I had family in town for 2.5 weeks.
Jeez, I would only be able to deal with them for 2.5 days. I don't know why you just didn't kick them out then. But anyway, no, that's fine. It's fine. We're not like that. Anyway, let's see. Where was I going with this?
That was Meaning of Fandom.
The movie anniversary watch-alongs, which we do.
Okay, 4.
So that's another one. When a movie turns a certain age, we celebrate the movie by you
Yay!
Watching the movie with us, and then we just do our version of an audio commentary during the movie. Which, by the way, we got 3 of them coming up next week alone, so stay tuned for that.
Wow.
3 of them, yeah, triple threat. Let's see. What else do I do? Gosh almighty.
You had the Ashoka one, but is that one now for now?
Which one?
The Ashoka's
Yeah, well, we
weekly.
did that, but now that the season is over, that's come to a close. But it's still on the playlist if you want to go back and watch those tapes.
This is true.
What else? What else? I'm trying to. Oh yeah, Convention Chronicles. That's another one, and that's hosted between Jeff and myself, where we talk about our experiences at conventions and talk about some of the things we look forward to seeing, some of the people we've met during our times at conventions, and some of the best friends we've made too. Because when you make friends at conventions, it makes it all the better. Yeah, it is, because conventions are freaking awesome. Big, small, medium, doesn't matter. Anyway, what other shows do we do? Gosh almighty, I'm trying to think. I used to do nerdy projects, but that's kind of taken a back seat. Nerdy books, that's another one where if I've read a book or a comic, I try to bring the writer or the creative team on and I give them my honest review of the book and we ask them questions about that book, whatever it may be. That's
kind of harsh. I don't know.
No. All the 9 times out of 10, the reviews I give the guests on my show have been nothing but positive. Because if I like a book, I'm going to celebrate. If I don't like a book, I just let it simmer. Anyway,
don't have him on the show. I guess.
I mean,
that would be embarrassing. But it's happened. I've seen it happen where there's a review show and they get people on and they trash the book in front of them, and that's a hard watch.
I don't know if I would. Here's the thing: like, if there's a book I kind of like but I don't love, I think you can still have the writer on and say, "Hey, these are the things that I liked about it. These are the things you may want to think about working." I don't know. It depends. Depends on how you look at it. But anyway, nerdy books has taken a back seat. And I'm trying to think. What else am I missing here? Nerdy books.
There's more.
I'm trying to think. I do so much. I mean, I'm not as
popular. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is enough, dude.
I'm not as popular as Carissa Grant is by any stretch. But, I'm trying. Let's see here.
Pretty popular. I don't know.
She's pretty darn popular. What's up, Carissa? We love you, by the way.
By the way, Carissa, we love you.
We all love her. Trying to think, what am I missing here? That is so
okay.
Important?
That's good. Okay,
that's
so
it's
6 that we can think of off the top of your head.
6.
How many out of those 6 do you pre-record?
None. They're all live.
They're all live.
Everything is live in front of a studio audience because we want to interact with our fans. We want to hear from them. We want to see what they're saying about us. We want to read them out. Like what's Glenn saying?
Glenn said, "My mom
keep
said
quiet.
If you have nothing good to say, keep quiet."
That's why anyone I have on my nerdy book show is for a book that I really like. So there you go.
Glenn hates everybody equally.
I try to be.
Just kidding, Glenn.
But
my philosophy is compliment in public, critique in private.
Yeah, I can always do that.
And I only critique if people ask me to. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing that I like less than someone coming up to me and be like, "These are all the things I dislike about your project." Well, no, Sherlock. Like, I know I'm still working on my stuff and we're trying to improve. If I want an honest opinion of my work, I'll ask you. But I only ask the people that I value their opinion. If it's someone that I was like, okay, like Joe Blow off the street, why would I ask you about making comics? You know what I mean? If you don't make comics. So there's, go to the people who actually have done what you're trying to do, right? And ask them, trash my comics so I can improve. You should be looking for criticism and critique from the professionals. You shouldn't just be putting it out there for everybody to be like, "I don't like this character. I don't like this. I don't like how you killed that character." Well, tough shit. Like, that's my story.
Everyone who's been on Nerdy Books
don't trash people in public. So. This is something that all the internet needs to learn. Don't trash people in public.
Yeah, good luck teaching the rest of the interwebs that. The internet's a good place, but it can also be a very dark place. So we've all been there. We've all been there. We know what it's like. I've seen the positive and the flip side of it all. So it's
right.
Yeah, you just got
out of the 6 shows.
Yes,
so we know like the book one we talked about, but like let's start at the beginning. What's that? What was the first one you said? And I quote.
Yes.
Okay. What's that one? What's that show typically about? Like what is the audience? Who would find that one amusing? Who would watch that?
Great question. All 7 billion people, I think, would find it interesting. I mean, that's the world's population.
No, that's the worst answer. That's the worst answer when it comes to comics.
I'm being perfectly honest, because here's the deal. And I Quote is a show where we interview content creators from all over the globe, whether they've worked in film, television, radio, video games, independent writing, independent publishing. They do voiceover acting. It doesn't matter. We've interviewed so many wonderful people along the way, and we've been doing it for like 3 years now. I love it. when we first started out as Nerd Culture, the playlist I was in charge of was putting together interviews, and I would reach out to people on social media, and they would come on. Originally, it was just called Nerd Culture Interviews So-and-So. We didn't have a name for it yet. It was just a generic, playlist, right, that you can see on any YouTube channel nowadays. But I said, you know what? Let's flip this. Let's give us a new title. And I said, what about and I quote? Because when someone is writing a news story and they get quotes from people, they have sources and whatever else, they say, well, this is what my source said. And he said, and I quote, and then they just, write in the whatever. So yeah, I've interviewed content creators from all over the world. So that's why and who would be interested in and I quote? Pretty much anybody who wants to learn about anything in the world that's nerdy, really. I mean, if you want to learn about what it's like to be a vendor at conventions, we got people like that. If you want to learn what it's like to be a voiceover actor or actress, we have people who do that. If you want to know what it's like to be a big shot in Hollywood, like William Sadler was the first guest we ever had on the history of our show. And he was, he played Death in Bill and Ted 2 and 3. He played the bad guy in Die Hard 2.
Yep.
I mean, he's been in The Shawshank Redemption. He's been in The Blacklist with James Spader. He's been in Hawaii Five-0 with Alex O'Loughlin. I mean, this guy's been doing acting for 40, 50 years, and I had him on our show. The very first episode we turned out
That's awesome.
was him, because he was on the press tour for Bill and Ted Face the Music at the time, and we were still connected with Hanging with Web Show, which is how we were able to get him on the show in the first place. And he was on with me for like 10, 15 minutes. And I had to rush that interview because I was about to go to class in college. So I was like rushing from one place to the other. But luckily we got it in, and William Sadler was a great guest. He's a great guy. And by the way, credit goes to Caroline, who put up together the thumbnail for that episode, which is on our and I quote playlist with yours truly.
Yeah.
Go back and look at that thumbnail, because it's got like a screenshot from every single thing that guy's been in. It's like a giant collage of William Sadler. And I thought, well done, Caroline.
Yeah,
well done. So yeah. And I quote, anybody who is interested in a particular field, if they want to learn about something, like if you want me to pull a LeVar Burton or a Fred Rogers out of my hat, all I can do is say, take a look. It's in a book. Take a look. It's in an episode.
Reading Rainbow.
Yes. Watch the episodes. Enjoy the content.
I can't do anything.
It's such a great song. It's such a great song. I tell people, take a look. It's in a book, because reading is fun. And also, I've met LeVar Burton in person. He's a nice guy.
Really?
So
I've heard good things about him. I heard he's a cool guy.
He is. Yeah. He's wonderful. He signed my Reading Rainbow childhood book for me.
That's
awesome.
Did.
He signed it. It was Kate Shelley in The Midnight Express, for those of you who are wondering which book it was.
So, and I quote, is more getting people from different genres of nerd culture, production, writers, artists, voice actors, getting them on the show. And then what I like about a live audience is that people can ask questions. And it's like, a lot of times we don't have access to these people, or didn't think about, like, this was so important for me when I first started making comics, because I wanted to know, how do I run a Kickstarter? How do I do this? And what else do I need to think about? And these are the people that have done it and walked that path. And those are the people we want to ask the questions to, right?
Yeah, most recently, I'll give you a perfect example. Speaking of starting of Kickstarter, for those of you keeping up at home. Geez, my words are slurring. So we had a gentleman on our show last week. I know, I need more coffee, as Brian K. Morris would say. Brian K. Morris, I love you, brother. Anyway, so Damon Thompson was on our show this past weekend on, and I quote, the episode is up on our playlist if you want to go back and watch the tape. He asked me behind closed doors, he said, listen, I want to start a Kickstarter, but I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure where to begin. I said, well, I just happen to know some people who know a thing or two about starting a Kick. So I directed him towards Carissa Grant. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of her.
Nope.
Rob Multeri of LoneWolfComics.com. And Phil Russert of Philbo Publishing. So I gave him all the contact information for those three individuals, because I said, if you want to know something about Kickstarter and where to start and how to do all that kind of stuff, reach out to these three sources of mine, because they will help you. And then I dropped their name, that person's name, over to them, and I said, hey, this person may be getting in touch with you about Kickstarter later. And they said, happy to help, no problem. There you go. People helping people helping people. You're pulling a Jerry Maguire. Help me, help you, help you, help me. So there you go.
That's what I love about the community, man, is just that everybody is so willing to help and pass along information for free. There's no gatekeeping.
No, I'm willing to help anybody who has questions.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing it for I've been doing podcasting for years. Even before I did Nerd Culture, I was podcasting.
So that's, and I quote. So what was the other one? The Cantina?
The Nerdy Cantina, which is tonight, actually. Tonight.
Mondays. Is it always
No,
every Monday, or does it?
Tuesdays. Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday,
My
Lori. Look
show's
at your
called the
calendar.
Tuesday Morning Brew,
And
and
yet you
I'm
don't
like,
know
it's
what day it
Monday.
is. So Nerdy Cantina is on Tuesdays,
More
at
coffee.
8 p.m. Eastern Time, where we discuss all things Star Wars by pulling cards out of a deck and asking our panelists, as well as myself and the person watching or listening to this, questions from this deck of cards. Yeah. We ask
I
questions
love
from
that
the
deck of cards. I want to see
Everywhere.
what's in there. At some point, I need to.
Well, you
Come
can go
on,
back and watch the previous episodes because we draw these
This is
cards and we ask
true.
questions. So just go
Trust
back.
me, I know. I was like, today's Monday.
More
Yeah.
You don't know what day it is.
More coffee. More coffee.
But yeah, Nerdy Cantina's on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. It's my good friends Christie, Jen, and myself, and we talk about Star Wars, the things we like about it, the things we love about it, and then we just draw cards from this deck and we pose the questions. So it's a lot of fun, and plus we get a lot of audience interaction that way. So, if anyone's interested and you like the War in the Stars, feel free to join us tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's fun.
Speaking of trivia and questions, we're going to be doing a little trivia and questions on the second half of this show.
Oh my!
And we're going to test Ryan, and I would love to test the chat and see nerd. Well, I think we're doing movie trivia, but I also have just flat out nerdy trivia too. So we might jump back and forth and see. We're going to test Ryan's knowledge.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
We're not there
yet. Nerdy Cantina, Star Wars, right? Yeah. The Shoka's weekly mission was Star Wars. I thank you.
It was, but it's on the playlist. You can go back and watch.
Banana Alex, I love you too.
Oh, we love you too, Alex. Whoever Alex is, I don't know who that is.
And then what was the next one? So your fandom.
The meaning of fandom.
Meaning of fandom.
Yeah, that's a brand new
show.
Who
would like this show?
So, do you want me to give you a description of what we do?
Yes.
So the meaning of fandom, just to give everyone a 411, even though nobody calls that number anymore, because we have cell phones and we have Google. So anyway, the meaning of fandom is a new show, and it's an experiment where I thought, you know what? There are so many different fandoms that people enjoy and love. Some of them I don't really know much about. I want to know about them. Let's learn about it. So the show, The Meaning of Fandom, is where I gather 3 to 5 people, round table of guests, and they're different guests every episode. I try to have new faces, new names, new fandoms, whatever, every episode. And we just go around the table and say, what is a fandom and or character that means something special to you as a person, and why? Like, I want to know why it means so much. Like, I want to understand it. And we've been doing it for I think we've done 3 episodes now. The 4th episode is going to drop on Friday, November the 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I got to tell you, I'm excited for every project that I do, but this Friday particularly, I'm very excited about this episode because I reached out to these 2 of the 3 guests we've had. 3 of them actually. So the 3 guests that we're having, not only are, like I said, I try to have new guests every episode because I want to hear from different people's perspectives. Mm-hmm. I'm getting people from these people I met on Instagram and their YouTube channels and Instagram handles. So I got someone coming in from Instagram. I got someone I also met through YouTube/Instagram. He's going to be joining us. And then a friend of mine who I haven't talked to in a bit, he's going to be on our show and he's excited to be there. I look forward to catching up with him. I look forward to seeing these 2 other faces. So I am, let me just put it to you this way. This Friday is going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm still trying to get clear on the meaning of fandom show. When the people show up, do they come with their own prepared fandom or do you pick a fandom and the people have to talk about that specific genre or fandom in the show? Well, or let's say you have 3 guests, they all have different fandoms they talk about?
Well, I do tell them ahead of time, listen, we're doing the meaning of fandom on this day and time. Just bring like one specific, I know you probably have multiple fandoms that you like, but just try to focus on one in particular. It doesn't have to be like your top 1 or your number 2, your number 3, whatever. Just bring any fandom to the table and tell us why it means so much to you, or a particular character from a fandom and why. That's what I tell them. So I just tell them to prepare, some words. If you have to put it down on a sheet of paper, that's fine. Bring it forward ahead of time, bring it ready, bring yourself, bring your paper, your notes, if you have them, bring them ahead of time and just be ready to discuss the fandom. And then once you discuss the fandom, then the panelists and I are going to comment on what that person just said. And then we're going to toss it over to the audience and say, hey, if you have any questions for this person regarding their fandom, let us know, because we're all here to learn from each other and listen to one another. So it's just a fun, interactive show where we celebrate the fandoms that we love most. Sometimes I have video clips prepared for those people.
Oh, yay.
Sometimes I don't.
Do they tell you what their fandom is before they come, so that way you can pull clips? Or
the thing of it is that I mostly try to keep myself in the dark because I want to be surprised by what they say. I like being, because no one likes surprises, but I'm okay with it to a degree. So I tell them just bring a fandom. And they said, but do you want to know what it is ahead of time? I'm like, nah, just keep it under your hat and then reveal it for all the world to see on so-and-so day at so-and-so time. But 2 people have already told me what their fandoms are going to be for this Friday's episode. And I said to myself, I already got clips prepared for them. They're going to love it. You're going to love it. I didn't tell them that, but when we get to the show and I say, hey, before we turn things over to insert person's name here, we have this for you. And then I'm going to cut to that video.
That's cool. Give them a little intro.
A little intro, a little bit of sugar and spice with their coffee. So yeah, we're
I have to say, when I was on Ashoka's weekly mission,
yes, talking about Star Wars,
and the clip that you played before the show, if you're into Star Wars, that clip was just, it had feels to it.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like I was feeling emotional watching the clip that you put together. So I think that, if for people who understand the fandom, when they watch those little clips, it's inspirational, it's emotional, like it taps into all the feelings that you can feel when you're into a certain fandom. You know what I mean? And that was awesome. I sat there and I was like, this is the best Star Wars clip ever. And then we went into the show and I was like, see, now I have all the feels. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you could put together for these people. I'm sure
Friday there are going to be a lot of happy tears shed. There may be some smiles that are going to be thrown up on screen. I don't know. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And I got to tell you, one person who I've spoken to who is going to be on with us this Friday, I just want to make this clear. He and I have been DMing each other back and forth, like, here's some of my work, and then he sends me some of his work, and then I go onto his YouTube channel, which, don't get me wrong, all the links to where you can find our guests are going to be in the description. I got to update that, by the way. So I went to his channel and I watched his content, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy is really good. And you can tell that he has heart, he has fire, he has passion for what he's doing. And that oozes off the screen. When I see stuff like that, I'm thinking to myself, see, this is why I'm friends with, or, I've made connections with the people that I've made connections with, because if they have as much fire and passion for what they do, it's going to it's going to play off of other people. Right. So if he gives me energy, I'm going to get energy. If someone else gets energy, they're going to get it. It's just,
it's contagious. Doc, and by the way, we can all relax now.
Relax, Doc.
The Doc is
too
here.
Much fun. That's your problem. I don't know why.
Wow, good morning, Doc. Thanks for coming in. I always appreciate it. I always love seeing people in the chat. I wanted to say a shout out to Brittany as well. I missed you earlier, Brittany. We were talking, but
random
amazing,
people.
Amazing.
What
My
do they
cookie
say in that
friend.
movie? We love
coming
you,
up to
random
cookie
stranger.
Season. We're coming up to cookie season.
Cookies.
Yeah.
I hear. Brittany, I hear if you join the dark side, they give you cookies, but
it's a lie.
Yeah, it's a lie. Yeah, my friend Jen, who says that every episode on the Nerdy Cantina, she's like, "There are no cookies."
It's a lie. Once you get into the dark side,
there is no cookie.
I mean, it's a cookie, but you probably don't want it.
You don't want that cookie.
It's oatmeal raisin.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I don't have anything against oatmeal. Raisin, I'm not a big fan of, but oatmeal cookies on.
They're like, do you want a chocolate chip cookie? And then they give you an oatmeal raisin in exchange.
No, honestly, forget the cookies. I'd rather have oatmeal banana muffins. Yeah. Those are good. Anyone ever have those? Let us know in the chat. Be curious to hear your thoughts. Anyway.
But I think Brittany has moved on, but yeah, she's my cookie friend, and we always compare. Oatmeal raisin is your favorite, so Doc is staunchly in the dark side of the force.
Okay, you can have as much as you want. They got plenty of bags of those things. But yeah, the Meaning of Fandom is a new show that we've been doing, and we're very excited for the next episode because I got 3 incredible guests thus far. I'm trying to look for 1 or 2 more to fill the roundtable. I am so excited to have them there. It's not even really funny. It's just exciting. Don't you know when you get excited for stuff, you just find yourself smiling more often?
Yeah.
It's great.
Speaking of being excited, every now and again, I feel like you do an additional show, like a one shot, as we would call it in comics.
Yeah.
Just about something. Oh, Brittany is there. Hello.
Hi,
so
Brittany.
something that excites you. Like, for example, we both share an enthusiasm for Westerns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Ryan had hosted me on his show talking about just Western genre. And we talked about movies and TV shows and books,
books
and comics. Mine was in there too, but the whole point was our love for Westerns. And it's like, I don't think that was a series. We just did a one-off, but how often do you do stuff like that where you're just like, I really want to just touch this subject. Let's touch it.
I don't do it very often because that's what makes the we don't work for Marvel, but that's what makes the one-shot limited edition shows so special. But no, I don't really do one-offs, really. I try to keep things consistent because I want to put out as much content as I can to give the viewer, or the audience, I should say, as much variety as possible. If you want us to do more stuff concerning Westerns or another genre, let us know. I was thinking of doing a sequel to a one-off that we did many, many moons ago called Perfect Movies,
Yeah.
where it was a bunch of friends and I, where we share what are 5 movies that we consider to be like near perfect, or just like
Yes.
like straight up perfect movies. And that, let me tell you, that is one of our most watched videos on our channel. If you go back and watch that, because I put up some movies that were a lot of fun, but then people threw out these other titles, and I'm thinking, really? You think that movie is perfect? What movie were we watching? But that's the beauty of it. Like, if they put up something and I'm thinking, I don't know what movie you were watching, but I walked out on that one. What are you talking about? But they're like, no, man, it's perfect. And I'm like, well, why is it perfect? And he says, well, and then we went into our reasons why we consider it to be those 5 particular movies that each panelist picked to be perfect. So go back, watch the perfect movie one-off that we did, because I am seriously considering doing a sequel to that, because I do know that there are millions of people out there, peoples that have 5 movies that they can think of that they consider in their heart of hearts to be perfect. I'm thinking Laurie may have 4 or 5
I definitely
movies.
have a few, but I don't know if I have 5.
5? You can't pick 5? I mean, I don't think it's that hard to pick 5, but
I don't know. I'm pretty tough. There's always something.
Okay. Well, if you
really,
don't want to be on that show, then you don't have to be there.
No, I think I should be on this show. I would love. I mean, I'm not. You know me. I'll come on all the shows. I just like to come and nerd out and have fun. But look, Brittany says the Batman. So the one with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, that's I don't know if the running time could have been cut by 15 minutes. So that's why I don't consider it to be perfect. But I can see why.
I did not like his portrayal when he's not behind the towel. It was very emo and like
walking around.
That could have been better. What's the Boogeyman? Have you seen the Boogeyman, Ryan?
Well, there's like 50 movies called The Boogeyman, including the remake with Barry Watson. There was the direct-to-video sequels that came after that. One of them starred my good professional actress friend known as Erin Cahill in Boogeyman 3.
Okay.
So,
Dude,
what Boogeyman are you talking about?
I'm not sure, but Brittany, if you want to do some movie analysis, I'm sure you and me and Ryan should hang out. Hey, look, it's John Westhoff with the bear. What's up, man?
What's up, John? Good to
let's see. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
The original.
Okay.
Right.
I haven't seen the original, so I can't compare and contrast.
There's like 2 things I don't love about it, but yeah. And I mean, like, I'm with you, Brittany. Like, we can psychoanalyze movies. Yeah. I love doing that.
If you put Laurie and myself and that individual who just Brittany together, that would. Hey, listen, perfect movies too. If you guys want to see it, let us know, because then I'll put it together and get Laurie and whoever else we can.
The newest one.
She
said the newest Boogeyman. I haven't seen that one.
One-offs for me are very rare because I just try to be consistent. But other than that, I'm willing to do some one-offs. It just depends on it really depends on how I'm feeling that week or that month. And I'm thinking, you know what? I haven't talked about this genre or this movie or this kind of subject matter in a while. Why don't we dive back into this? So,
and one of the things I'd like to talk about with you, Ryan, too, is cult classics. Things that maybe were not that well received when they first came out, but have like now gathered a giant following and an appreciation for the movie because it has had time to kind of marinate with people. Or, like some of them are really not that great, but people love them.
Perfect example. By the way, who's it? Tombstone. Ooh. Tombstone's a good one, but I don't think it's perfect. Breakfast Club. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll give you that.
John Carpenter's Vampires.
Carpenters. I think JC stands for John Carpenter. Sorry.
Yes.
The Towering Inferno. And by the way, I have not seen Towering Inferno or Apocalypse Now. or Vampires for that matter. I haven't seen Vampires.
Okay. Well, you need to add those 3 to your list because John Carpenter's Vampires is really good. Mm-hmm. Towering Inferno, I haven't seen for a long time, but I remember it leaving an impression on me. So I think I need to see that again. And Apocalypse Now. Good Lord. You have to see that one.
It's where we get the classic line when I look at Laurie every time I see her.
The Thing is probably a perfect movie.
I have seen John Carpenter's The Thing. I would consider that a perfect movie because it's one of the scariest movies ever made. Period.
But I love it because
practical effects.
Well, yes, but because of the intro, because they told you that was not. They just speak English. So in the very beginning, when they land to the complex, dude kind of shoot the dog. Remember, they shoot the dudes. The dudes were like, "That's not a dog." And they're trying to if you translate it, they told you exactly what was going on. They had already battled this thing and they almost had it. But of course, our crew comes in and shoots the dude shooting the dog, and it starts all over again. So
I haven't seen the movie in a long time, so I haven't seen it in a hot minute.
You got it. That's such a good movie.
It is.
Just the anxiety it builds, and like, is it this? You know what I mean? Like one of these,
and the ominous ending
people
too.
is not what they say they are. So there's like this traitor element to it, and they can't figure out who it is because this thing can make itself anybody or anything. It's just really good.
Speaking of, you mentioned
Cool Hand Luke.
Listen, the only thing I know about Cool Hand Luke is the line.
Einstein. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying the only thing I remember about Cool Hand Luke is the line. I haven't seen the movie, but I will say this. Speaking of cult classics, if you want to do a one-off talking about cult classics, there's a movie that's the most watched video on our YouTube channel. It's got over 11,000 hits on our channel. This is the most watched, ridiculously amounted video on our YouTube channel, and it's the 30th anniversary of a cult classic known as Captain Ron with Kurt Russell and Martin Short. So if you want to know of the 430, 40 videos that we have on our channel, the one that's got the most amount of views is the one where it's a cult classic, and it's called Captain Ron. So if you want to go back and watch that, yes, by the way, Casablanca is a perfect movie, and also it's probably in my top 10. I think it's in my top 10. If not, it's definitely my top 15.
Yeah.
For sure. Because Casablanca is like, you want to know what films like film history, like a golden picture of what film history is? Watch Casablanca, and you're going to understand why movies can be great with as little special effects or just practical, making it a real story as possible. Plus, I mean, you got Bogey and Ingrid Bergman at the top of their game.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. You can't beat. I mean, very few things can beat that. And here's another thing I love about Bogey. Yeah, thanks for the email alert. Bogey did a movie, and I just watched this for the first time. I watched a bunch of these for the first time. The movies he did between him and Lauren Bacall when they were a thing. To Have and Have Not is one of the best, like straight up debuts for an actress I've ever seen in my life. Lauren Bacall just strolls in there with those pretty outfits, just giving the business, calling Bogey's name, not even by his character name. He's just like, you know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? All that stuff. It's just, I wish I could go back in time and be a fly on the wall or be on set when they're making these epic classic movies, because these actors and actresses were the top of their game, and they were bringing in audiences that otherwise wouldn't be interested, or just like they're bringing new fans in generations later, including myself. So yeah, James, what's up, sports fan? We don't talk about sports here, man. What are you talking about? This is pop culture. We don't talk about
guys. Wait. We have to go talk about what Brittany put out. I was just trying to get to it. Yeah, so Brittany said Dawn of the Dead, and I think she's referring to the Zack Snyder version, the one with the mall, the newer one, Brittany, with the zombie baby.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
You need to see the remake.
I haven't seen it.
That's like when he did a really good job. The opening to the movie was amazing. Mm-hmm. The fact that like they don't explain anything, they just drop you right into the zombie apocalypse, and they show kids. And in this, she's talking about this this one lady who was pregnant at the time and got bit.
Really?
Yeah. So the baby itself zombified in the womb. And the dad kind of hid her away from everybody.
Really?
And she turned into a zombie, and then he delivered the zombie baby, and it was messed up. It was. But it's like, I think at that point, no one had tackled zombie baby, or like what happens to pregnant women if they get bit, like what happens to that in the womb, situation. So that's why. But I love the intro. And I love that they cast people that were amputees as some of the zombies. So it made the gore really realistic, because there was like arms missing. There was a double leg amputee.
Good Lord.
Hanging from the ceiling, like in the garage basement. You have to see that one, Ryan. It's really good. The end is a little crazy. I mean, like the end of any zombie movie is crazy, but they dealt with like running out of food and like people being abandoned.
Right.
You know, it's like you can
Running
have
out
all
of
the
help.
ammo in the world, but if you don't have water to drink, you're not going to survive.
You're not going to survive. Yeah. The only dead movie I've seen is the OG, Night of the Living Dead. It's the only one.
That's all. Barbara, they're coming to get you,
Barbara. And that actor is still alive. That actor is still alive, going to conventions and signing that.
Yeah, my buddy Brandon, who was here earlier, went and got their autograph at the last con he was at. They were there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Because I would have him sign my Night of the Living Dead Criterion Blu-ray, by the way. Yeah, I do like Poltergeist. I like Poltergeist.
Exorcist is in. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I
would say it's in
I
my
got
top
nothing
5.
from that movie. I got nothing
From
from The Exorcist. No, I got nothing from that. Nothing. I'm like, okay, she gets possessed. She spits up the. I'm like, dude, I've seen movies that are 3 times better than this. I'm sorry.
We will not be sharing that opinion here on the Tuesday Morning Brew. The Exorcist is the best horror movie out there. And if Ryan, you would come agree with me, you can come back on. I want to see you nod your head in the back room. Nod your head. Nod your head.
All right.
I'll let him
Look. Listen for me for 1 second. Just give me a minute here. So, look.
You are the remove button.
I know what it is. I know what it is. Thank you, Dr. Evil. But anyway, listen. If I were around in the 1870s when that movie came out,
1870s.
I'm sorry, it's a very old film. Listen, if I were around back then and the paranoia and the craziness that went on when that movie came out and people were running out of the theaters fainting, being hospitalized, people were dying from watching that movie, whatever, maybe I would have understood the hype. Maybe I would have understood it. But when I watched that movie, X amount of years ago is when I watched it. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, where are the good parts? Like, what's going on here? Like, this is okay. She gets possessed. She starts slowly but surely. She starts to turn into this demonic child. And the mom's doing everything she can, but she could be doing more. And all of a sudden, the movie just ends. And I'm thinking, dude, I can think of 3 other movies that are better than this horror-wise.
You missed the whole part for the exorcism and like
no. I watched the whole thing. It's just that
the young priest and his connection to his mom and questioning his faith. The old priest who was really 35, and there's the whole thing about the makeup they did for him. He couldn't get a part in Hollywood after that movie because they kept casting him as an old person. He was in his 30s.
Wow.
That's how good the makeup was.
Right. Well, that movie didn't
special effects. They actually hurt the mom. They had a rope tied around her, so when like Linda Blair threw her, she hit the wall so hard she actually broke part of her back because they pulled her too hard.
See, this is creepy things that happen.
There's a lot with that movie. You have to go see the updated version. Because there's more to do with there's subtleties of what they were trying to do with the possession and like the face of the demon like flashing on. So it's more like a subconscious feeling of dread that came through, I think, when they re-released it. So yeah, we're here. Look, we got Blade movies here. Where did that come from? Who said Blade?
Well, before I get to that, my exorcism type movie, the one I enjoy, like the one I can go back and rewatch, is The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
That's also a good one.
Which is a really good. That one too. I think to a certain degree that movie is underrated. It's much better than what certain critics gave it credit for. So go back and watch that because that movie is like it's based on a true story, and at the same time, it's really, really good. But as far as Blade goes, yeah, the original Blade movie, we just celebrated
the original Blade.
Well, here's the thing. We celebrated the 25th anniversary of Blade earlier this year, which you can go back and watch on our channel, Laurie. You can watch that too.
Ryan always tells me to go watch all his things when he's on my show.
Well, you know, when you have the time to spare, go ahead and watch some of our tapes because we entertain you.
I don't even know what day it is. I thought it was Monday.
You thought it was Monday. It turns out to be Tuesday. But yeah, the original Blade is good. I enjoy that one. That's a good movie.
I thought it was great. The soundtrack was spot on.
Yeah, the club scene.
Yeah, Wesley's sword work, especially in the beginning. That opening in the meatpacking plant at the rave.
The blood rave. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's one of the best character introductions in a movie ever.
Yeah, like that one and like the opening of the original Matrix. Those two openings right there will just pull you into the movie and, you know.
Mr. Anderson.
Oh, that is such a great opening.
Yeah.
Every
And
time
then
you watch,
what's her
like, the
face?
tree,
Trinity pulls a gun and says, "Dodge this."
yeah, not
Like,
that. That's
yeah.
later on. I'm talking about when she's on the computer and the cops show up, and you have
Oh,
no
yeah, yeah.
idea what the heck is going on
And
yet.
she's doing the whole,
She does the bullet time.
the crane kick.
She
Yeah.
takes out like 5 police in 3 seconds and then has to run away from these other dudes, running across the rooftops, jumping across the road. Like, for having never seen The Matrix, you watch that scene, you're like, wow. You know what I mean? That's an end. Same thing with like the blood rave, right? It's like you get in there, and of course you're seeing it from the point of view of this guy who has no idea what he's doing there. He's just out for a hot piece of ass. She takes him to this rave and ditches him. And then it's like, it's raining blood. Oh, these are vampires. Oh, look, there's a dude shooting everybody and they're disintegrating. What is going on?
It's great. That whole scene, that whole club scene.
What? I was responding
so
to your
good.
comment about the pregnant zombie. Oh, Blade's mother.
Blade's
That's
was
right.
bitten.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's how he became
That's
the
right.
Daywalker.
Blade's
That's how he became
origin.
the
I was like,
Daywalker.
where did that come in? I enjoyed. Well, I was gonna say each one of the Blade movies is a little bit different. The
The
second one
first
was
one's
pretty
always going to be the
gory.
best.
You gotta love Ryan Reynolds' sarcasm. If you're into that, then Blade Trinity was not bad. I liked it.
That would end up on the list of cult classics.
Cult classics. Yes, I think that one for sure.
Yeah.
Taking of
here's a
Deborah,
hot
I needed to
take for
see
20,000 people watching this show. I liked to a certain degree. I liked Blade Trinity more than Blade 2. So
Blade 2 was probably the least popular. Even though it had a ton of people. Donnie Yen was in that. Ron
I don't
Perlman.
care. Blade 2 was weak sauce compared to the first one.
I mean,
It's weak sauce.
It's hard. It's hard. And again, a lot of times they're doing a movie with no intention of doing a sequel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
They
that's
didn't intend
hard
to do a
when
sequel anyway.
it's a standalone, and then they're like, okay, come on back and do it again. And you're like, I have to top this.
There's no way you can top the first Blade. There's just no way.
Blade was excellent. I was 14 when I watched it and not allowed to watch scary shit. And I was like, whoa, that was awesome. Beelan and Reynolds, excuse me. I like Trinity the best. Wow. There's lots of cool Easter eggs in Trinity too.
Yeah. Man, you know what, Brittany?
Is not bad. I didn't like their fight scenes as much.
Man, this whole one-off on Nerd Culture Channel called Classics is going to be very
I'll go get help.
Wait here.
I think he calls her a Thunder Sea at some point. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't. This guy Reynolds, he gives Ryan's a bad name.
Stop.
He's
okay. He's borderline entertaining.
I don't.
He was terrifying in Amity.
You mean Amityville Horror?
Yes, the remake.
I liked it. Yeah, I like that movie. I thought it was good. But what I'm saying is, overall, I'm just not a Reynolds fan. I don't like.
You don't have to be. I mean, he's not
like
for every. He's one of those actors, I think, that plays himself. You know what I mean?
In every movie. He plays himself in every movie.
Him and like Christopher Walken.
Yeah, but Christopher Walken, I did watch a performance of his. I did watch a performance of Chris Walken that goes back 35 years, but True Romance, that's a fun movie, dude. True Romance is a fun movie. Seriously, you want to talk about great scenage, chewing up the scenery between what's-his-face, Christopher Walken, and Dennis Hopper? You're part eggplant. You're a cantaloupe. You know, it's just, go back and watch that cantaloupe. You're part eggplant.
Too. Yes, Brittany, I totally agree.
Yeah,
He's another one
Jeff
where
Goldblum,
it's like,
I don't mind it as much.
But I mean, again, it's him though. It's him acting quirky in every movie.
Yeah, but I don't mind
that. If it fits, then I'm okay with it. And I think we've talked about this before. Like, I am terrified to watch the next Dune, the next section of the new Dune because they cast Christopher Walken as the Emperor, Shaddam the IV or whatever. And I was like,
I didn't know that. Okay.
I don't know how that's going to work.
I haven't seen the first Dune yet, so I can't comment or speculate. Dustin often plays himself all the time.
I mean, if they have the Emperor there and they just don't let him talk, or maybe they give him like one-word answers, but still it's Christopher Walken. He can say everything wrong. Did you see him on Saturday Night Live when he was like, Foo Fighters? Like that? He's introducing Foo Fighters.
Yeah, but Laurie, the best thing about Chris Walken that we got from him was, I got to have more cowbell, baby.
Yeah, I mean, he is the best on Saturday Night Live. He is the best. But still, in a movie where you're trying to like, Dune is very
it's a very serious movie.
Serious and immersive.
Extremely serious.
Like,
and it's
violent. There's espionage.
There's espionage?
There's oh yeah.
I gotta sit down and watch this.
You've never
No, I've never seen any iteration
Oh.
of Dune. Never.
My gosh.
There's a million movies out there I've never seen. Dune is just one of them.
Add that to the list.
Of course, yeah, sure. Let me put it next to my 6 Mile Long list. I'm never gonna get
Go
to.
watch the one on HBO though. I think they split it up into 2 movies because it's a lot. Okay.
It is.
But the thing I like about Dune is the world building.
Mhm.
When Frank Herbert wrote the book, he was definitely on drugs. So there's a lot of drug influence in the story. Like there's a whole culture built around this planet. Dune is where this spice comes from. Spice is the drug that allows people they can fold space, so they can like create wormholes and travel across space. They can there's a whole class of witches called the Bene Gesserit, and they use it as a truth sayer drug, and they use it to like cultivate all these weird powers. It's really neat. So everything in that book is crazy. So it's the cultures upon cultures, languages, special knives, prophecies, like it's all there.
Not that this matters, but I do like the trailer. I like the trailers for Dune. I just never seen it, but you know what? We've seen great trailers. We've seen great trailers before, and sometimes those movies are letdowns. So who knows? I can't speak to anything about Dune, but I'm just saying that of the trailers that I've seen for Dune's parts 1 and 2, I like what I see. It's intriguing. I'm intrigued by it.
The fights are really good too. In the new one, they do Balintawak, which is Filipino style of knife fighting and sword fighting. It's really good. They do them well. Yes.
Wow.
In it, what does Pop say? If you have not read Dune, it is hard. I mean, like it's hard, but I think if you watch it, you can still appreciate it. David Lynch's Dune is my second favorite. I mean, if you're gonna watch one in one sitting, that's David Lynch's, right? This new one, the second part isn't out, and I'm I'm kind of nervous for the second part.
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve's version of Dune. Yeah.
It's good, but it's like the CG had to catch up. What?
Personally, I'd rather watch Dune than watch Avatar 2. So there you go.
I agree with that statement. I've seen both.
Yeah,
Avatar 2 is
James Cameron is wasting so much money and so much time making 40 sequels to a movie that nobody wants to see.
I agree with that. After I saw the second one, I was like, and we can be done now.
And by the way, the second Avatar movie is 30 minutes longer than the first one was. And I'm thinking,
was already
James,
too long.
are you out of your Vulcan mind? Are you out of your mind? He's lost it. I think James has lost his marbles. James, you haven't made a great film for me since, probably Titanic. Because the one thing you did after that was Avatar. And Avatar was fine, but I didn't love it.
Didn't he do something else after?
No, he did Titanic, and then he waited 12 years, and he came out with Avatar.
Really?
That's it. That's all the guy's done. Well, aside from the other stuff he did before Titanic, of course, not discouraging that. But yeah, James, you haven't made a great film since '97, man. At least for me.
All right. We are going to pick up now with some movie trivia.
Ooh,
and let's make it interesting. Let's say the winner of today.
Oh no.
And it's going to be either yourself or someone in the chat will get a free download of Path of the Pale Rider. How about that? Issues 1, 2, and 3. You can get the whole series PDF for free today.
Wow. Okay.
If you answer some questions for trivia, that is. All right.
No pressure.
Speaking of Titanic, who actually drew the sketch of Rose in Titanic? Not in the movie. Who actually drew the pencil drawing? Was it A, Leonardo DiCaprio, B, Billy Zane, C, James Cameron, or D, Kathy Bates? What's up, Al?
Is this the part where I answer? Do I say my answer now?
Ryan
okay, so for me, the answer to that question is C, James Cameron. Final answer.
Ooh, good answer. That is correct.
Yeah,
James Cameron did answer. Is the correct answer. Sorry, everybody in the chat who didn't get that, but James Cameron was the one who actually drew Kate Winslet with her bits out.
Yeah, that must have been an awkward meeting between director and a young starlet at the age of 22.
I mean, that's kind of how Hollywood went back then. Oh, do you want the part? Let me draw you nude and we'll see how the picture turns out. That's how the casting process went.
She could have said no, but I guess Kate Winslet was
She
comfortable in her own skin to say, you know
could
what,
have
I'm
said
willing to go
no
full on
and
nude.
not gotten
So,
the
okay.
part. All right, another classic. I don't know if this would fall on anybody's top 5 perfect movies, but the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh God.
Um,
Ugh. This comes up way too much. Way too much. You want
no,
a part?
Al.
Let me see it. Hey, wait. Yeah. If I
Nope,
was a filmmaker,
nope.
I would never say that to my actors.
No. And be like, well, that's what the casting couch is for, right?
I would
Question
never
2. What is the name of Meatloaf's character in the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Here's your choices. A, Henry. B, Eddie. C, Chuck. Or D, Al. And no, I didn't just make that up. That's part of the thing. His name is not Loaf in the movie.
Oh,
The name of
boy.
Meatloaf's character
Character in the
in
movie.
the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Henry, Eddie, Chuck, or Al? Ooh, Al wants to play.
I'm swinging for the fences here, by the way.
Ah.
I'm swinging for the fences. I'm going to say A, Henry, final answer.
All right. What do you say, Comic Crusaders? I know you're there, Al Mega. It's just that you've given me 2 different answers.
I'm gonna
Final
say
answer
Henry.
is Al. Okay. Incorrect. The final answer is Eddie. The correct answer is Eddie for Meatloaf's character in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
All right.
That's
1 and
right,
1.
Ryan.
It's
You're
not
still
bad.
winning with 1 point. We'll continue.
It's not bad.
Let's see. That one's too easy. Also too easy. Let's see. Okay. Which famous Pulp Fiction scene was filmed backwards? A, Vincent and Mia's dance scene. Very popular. Yeah. B, Mia's overdose scene. C, the Royale with cheese scene. Or D, the Ezekiel 25:16, or excuse me, 25:17.
Ezekiel 25:17. Yeah.
Which one
Righteous
was
man.
famous for being filmed backwards?
The scene that was famous for being. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, and I like that. By the way, I like this movie.
Al
I
says
have it on
dance.
DVD. I have it on DVD. I like Pulp Fiction. It turns 30 next year, by the way, Laurie. Fun fact.
I know, amazing.
Yeah, we're going to do a 30th anniversary watch along if anyone wants to tune in for that. Maybe Laurie will be on the panel.
Pop says Ezekiel.
Let me see. I'm going to say the...
Doc VOD.
I'm going to say the overdose scene was filmed backwards. I'm going to say the overdose scene with Mia.
You are correct.
I know
Both
it.
Ryan and Doc get a point there for
Yes.
the overdose scene.
The overdose sequence, yeah.
Was filmed backwards.
I wonder how Uma Thurman felt about that one. She was sweaty in one scene, and then she's all pretty and dolled up the next. It's crazy.
All right, question. Which actor was in the following movies? The Outsider, Wayne's World, and Tommy Boy.
Do you mean The Outsider or The Outsiders?
The Outsiders with an S. The Outsiders, Wayne's World, and Tommy Boy. Here are your choices. A, Tom Cruise. B, Matt Dillon. C, Rob Lowe. Or D, C, Thomas Howell.
Oh, man. No, I'm serious. The correct answer is, in fact, Rob Lowe. Final answer.
All righty. Anybody else want to chime in the chat?
It's Rob Lowe.
Tom Cruise, Matt Dillon, Rob Lowe, C. Thomas Howell.
He's been in
got
a
a
lot.
Dillon, a Rob Lowe, another Rob Lowe. Where's Doc? Doc. What do you say, Doc?
What do you say, Doc Brown?
Mashy.
Does Doc drive his car at 88 miles per hour every day? I wonder if he does.
3, 2, 1.
Come on.
Doc is still typing. It takes a few minutes.
And you call yourself a time traveler, Doc.
Oh, sorry, Doc. Sorry. The question was, who was in the following movies? The Outsiders, Wayne's World, and Tommy Boy. Your options are Tom Cruise, Matt Dillon, Rob Lowe, or C. Thomas Howell. Those are your choices.
These actors have been in a lot of stuff in their careers.
I know. And I don't think I've seen The Outsiders, but I have seen Wayne's World and Tommy Boy. So I was like,
oh, I've seen all three.
Rob Lowe. Okay, all three of you are correct. It is Rob Lowe. So a point for Ryan, a point for Pops, and a point for Doc. Sorry, Al. Rob Lowe was in all of those movies.
Yep. Good actor too. He's got mad skills, that Rob Lowe. He's got mad skills. He can do comedy, he can do drama, he can do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he's very talented.
He's very versatile, that actor, Rob Lowe. And and I think he's still doing it too. He's still killing it. So well done, Rob. Well done.
This one I think is well known, but we're gonna ask it anyway. Who did the cat in The Godfather, the first one, belong to? Who did the cat belong to? The one where he's petting the cat on the day of my daughter's wedding. Okay. She day of my daughter's wedding. I can't do it. All right. So, did the cat belong to Francis Ford Coppola, Diane Keaton, Al Pacino?
Oh my gosh.
Or nobody? They just found the cat on the street.
Oh boy. Who did the cat belong to?
Who did the cat belong to? Francis Ford Coppola, Diane Keaton, Al Pacino, or nope, they just picked up a cat off the side of the road.
You know, I'm going to go with Diane Keaton on this one. I'm going to go with Diane Keaton. I'm going with Diane Keaton on that one.
Al's always going to go with an Al. He's going to stick with his own name.
Al. You all know my assistant, Al Borland. Sorry, that's a reference from another TV show. Did anyone watch that growing up?
Al Borland.
Do you know who Al Borland is?
I do. God dang it.
Welcome to the show. I am Tim, the Toolman Taylor.
Oh, thank you.
You all know my assistant, Al
There we go.
Borland.
I was like, I know I've seen it.
Come on, it's Home Improvement.
Can't remember.
Which, by the way,
all right, who else wants to chime in? Who did the cat belong to?
By the way, you can watch all the
Pop
episodes.
said Al Pacino. Ryan says, okay. And Doc, do you want to chime in, or did you go get more coffee again?
Coffee. It's not coffee. It's called coffee, as Brian K. Morris likes to say. I'm pulling a Brian K. Morris reference on you. Yeah. Look him up at risingtide.pub. You'll thank me later.
I thought y'all knew this one. The cat belonged to no one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It just showed up on set, and they just petted it for the day and fed it. I think someone adopted it, but
wow, it was a nobody. It just showed up on the doorstep when they were filming. They're like, yeah, we can use them.
Yeah, it's like Marlon Brando just was like, oh, pet the cat. It was just, he was in character. It's what he does, right? So yeah, cat belonged to no one. It was just a random cat. Let's see. Too easy. Oh,
man, I am not very. I mean, I'm doing okay at this game. I'm doing okay at this game, but I could be doing better.
All right, ready? You know this. Which movie is the famous line from? I wish I knew how to quit you.
Oh boy, didn't we talk about this?
Oh, we did. That's why I was like, I know you know this one. A, Love Actually. B, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. C, Brokeback Mountain. Al, why is this the only one you know, Al? And D, The Notebook.
Wow, great options.
I thought it was pretty good. If you didn't already know this, it would be tough to discern.
There's some good. That last one is really good, but I have to say, I wish I knew that quit you. It's Brokeback Mountain. Final answer. Final answer is Brokeback Mountain. Okay. Yeah, that movie came and went. And, yeah.
You got a point, Al. Congratulations. Good job.
Way to go, Al Borland.
Wrong one.
Way to go, Al. Way to go. I have not watched any of these films. Says
you would be spot on there. I mean,
you know what? I will say The Notebook is a good film. The Notebook is a good movie. I'm not gonna lie, it is.
I The Notebook. I haven't seen The Notebook.
It's good.
Can't.
It's good. It's got one of the better Ryan actors in Hollywood. It's Gosling. You know, I
Yeah,
don't care
I
about
like
Reynolds,
Gosling.
but Gosling's in it, and you got a young up and coming Rachel McAdams at the center of it. So,
Yeah, I like her too. I'm not into like the mushy chick flicks. I'm just like,
oh man, there's some
shoot
good ones out
somebody
there.
in the
Though.
face, please.
There's some good ones out there. The Notebook is good. It's the only good. I mean, for a lot of people, they say it's the one good Nicholas Sparks adaptation. So, you know,
I agree. The Notebook is the ultimate chick flick, and I am the
that's not
most
necessarily a
anti-chick
bad
flick.
thing. It's a good movie.
I mean, okay. I just don't want to see
I
it.
think it
I have
is.
no interest.
Hey, listen, if
Men
anyone,
want
you
to
know,
score with their ladies. That's the one. See, not my man.
yeah. It's a good aphrodisiac
man.
for your girlfriend. That's for sure. For sure.
No.
I don't know.
Take me to the martial arts movie.
It depends on the woman. Every woman is different.
Yes, this is true.
And you got to
Take me
respect
to
that.
that one.
too.
I will probably fall asleep.
You can't just, say, hey, we're not going to see that movie you want to see because it's mushy. It's like, no. I'll compromise. We'll see this movie tonight, and then tomorrow we'll see the karate movie. It's fine. It's called
Props is
compromise,
also
guys.
chiming in. 50 First Dates.
That's a good one too. That's a
I
good
have
one.
not seen it.
Oh, it's a good Sandman movie. It's when Sandler and Drew Barrymore reunited for the first time in almost 10 years since the events of The Wedding Singer.
Did I see that one? It's like where she kept forgetting. Was it he or she
Short-term
that
memory
lost
loss.
her memory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I saw that.
That is a good Sandman Barrymore flick. Yeah, that's a good one. Drew Barrymore. She had a lot of great acting chops back then.
She did. I think she still has it in her if she wants to. She
I
just
think
needs to
she's
stop
retired,
taking
though.
flicks like Charlie's Angels. Like, don't do that.
Well, no, the first Charlie's Angels is great. It's the second one that can go off a cliff. But Drew, I hope to see you in more movies because I know you're kind of retired right now because you're focusing on your daytime talk show that only 5.5 people watch. But
Oh,
whatever.
she got canceled for that, didn't she?
No. Her show's still going.
Yeah, I think wasn't there some kind of beef about it because
there was a writers.
The writer's strike
rebelled,
was going on and she
brought
was
him back,
continuing.
and then they didn't, and then they came back again. I think her show still is going on. It's still going on. If it got canceled, it got canceled. But
Elsa has about 3.5 people watch.
Okay. Hey, listen, I like Drew, but I prefer to see her in movie and dramatic performances, not a talk show format. But whatever.
Yeah.
She's had her fair share of great episodes.
Okay, this one's tough.
Oh no.
This is a tough one.
That's sad.
What was the top grossing movie of 2014?
Oh my gosh.
I know. I would never get this. This is totally
what are the options? Are there options?
Options are The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1.
Ooh.
The Lego Movie.
Mm.
Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh my. Man,
and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my.
This is hard.
I remember.
I would not have gotten this one.
I remember seeing all of these.
I've seen all. Yeah, of course. I saw all of these the year they came out. Of course, in theater.
What was the highest?
It could have been any one of these. This
to
is
me,
not even an option, Al.
wait a minute. 2014 Transformers? No, thank you. But anyway, 2007 Transformers, yes. But anyway,
Al says Captain America. I love that movie.
Listen. Captain America: The Winter Soldier, of those four movies that were just listed, is the best of the four. There is no doubt. But as far as what movie made the most amount of money,
what made the most money?
I'm gonna give it to Everything Is Awesome. I'm gonna give it to the Lego movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to the Lego movie
because chime in the chat.
I'm saying Lego movie made the most money that year because it reaches so many different audiences than just Captain America and Guardians does.
Yeah.
I'm going Lego movie. If it's Hunger Games, I'm very surprised because the last two movies didn't get as much financial and critical reception as the first two films did. So
I agree, but the first one made a ton of money.
Yeah, but the second one's better. What is it called?
Wrong.
The Hunger Games Catching Fire. Hunger Games Catching Fire is definitely better than the first one.
You are all wrong. The one that made the most money is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh man, come on!
Crazy?
Lego movie should have been top dollar.
I would have thought that one for sure. I'm with you. Where like that crosses so many genres. It had so many Easter eggs and like it's kid friendly, so everybody can go.
That year,
Guardians of the Galaxy is what it says.
Give it to Captain Winter Soldier.
I know Captain America Winter
Such
Soldier
a better movie.
is on my list for a perfect movie. Absolutely.
I cannot say I
100%.
would argue with you on that. That is a perfect movie, honestly. From start to finish, like it just cuts you right into the game. Like it throws you into the game.
Just amazing. Like it just sets the pace from the amazing, and like
it
that's
has
a
the stealth mission with the parachutes, and then like you see what Cap's been up to since the events of New York, and then you see all the craziness that goes on behind the scenes of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like, oh my gosh, this is the government we're trusting now. This is ridiculous.
And I think they said like it's a class in watching how to build dread, how to make people feel uncomfortable watching a movie. It's like you take away the trust.
It's a political thriller. That's what it is.
It's great. It's
perfect.
Great.
Yeah, I would put that on the perfect movies list if Laurie and myself and Brittany were sitting down together and talking about this. Yeah,
I think that would definitely go.
Winter Soldier's on the list, right?
Yeah, oh for sure.
I'd put it on there.
Yes.
We got to get Laurie and Brittany on that show.
What was it? I was on a show when we right when Doctor Strange Multiverse
of Madness came out.
Yes.
The second one. Okay.
And we ranked our top 5 and MCU movies, and almost every had Captain Winter Soldier top 3.
Yeah. That's in my top. If we're talking just MCU movies, then Winter Soldier's definitely
number
my
1.
top 5. No, well, it's in my top 5.
Number 1.
It probably would be, hypothetically, my number 1, but like it's kind of hard to put the solo movies and the team up movies in the same list. It's difficult.
You're right.
Because there's different things going on in each one.
Right.
If we're talking solo movies, Captain America Winter Soldier's top is number 1 for me. But if we're talking overall MCU, Winter Soldier's going to be somewhere in the top 5. I just don't know where.
Brittany, I feel like you're my people.
Me and Brittany would have to sit down and talk about that. I dislike chick flicks. Listen, there's a few of them out there that are really good. You just got to find them. That's all.
I disagree.
There's a few. Not a lot, but there's a few.
All right. For everybody who is a fan of the movie Fight Club, this would be me.
Hey, we're not supposed to talk about that.
In the movie, what item is in every single scene?
Oh my
Do you know this?
God.
It's A, a Coca-Cola can, B, a Starbucks cup, C, a Dunkin' Donut, or D, a Pepsi bottle.
What?
In every single scene, there is one of these items. Yes. You have to go back and watch it. That's another movie where there's like so many layers, and like I love like the movie where the first time you watch it, it's one thing, and then when you watch it the second time, it takes on a completely different meaning.
His name was Tyler Durden.
Like huh?
His name was Tyler Durden.
Tyler Durden, yes.
Yeah. What object was in a scene in every frame of the film? You know what? I'm gonna go with the Starbucks is in there. Is that one of the options? Starbucks coffee cup?
Starbucks, Dunkin' Donut.
Okay.
Pepsi.
I'm going with a Starbucks coffee cup or whatever the Starbucks product. I'm going with the Starbucks coffee cup because those characters do so much talking and so much fighting and so much running and driving, whatever it is. They need something to get them through that. And I'm going, like and then also Tyler's point in the early part of the movie, he says the things you own end up owning you.
Yes.
So
we're
if you buy
about,
coffee every day,
sponsorship,
the coffee's going to own you. So I'm going with Starbucks, man.
We got 2 votes for Coke in the chat. Anybody else want to chime in before I give the answer?
It has to be the corporate Starbucks sponsor. It has to be corporate. Come on, guys. Starbucks in every scene, that has to happen.
You are correct. It is Starbucks.
Oh, see, I knew it, because how can you make it through a 2.5-hour movie without drinking the constant source of coffee and caffeine? Honestly.
If you go back and you watch that movie, there is a Starbucks cup in every scene.
I'm going to go. I have it on Blu-ray, so I'm going to go back and do that. I'm going to go back. And watch
remember in the scene in the office where it's like going around the room and it ends up in the trash and there's a Starbucks in there. It's like they're everywhere. There is a Starbucks. Hey, Lou, what's up, Lou? You get a point, Lou. We'll put you in here.
My name is so-and-so. I'm the producer of Ska's Day of Surprise. Oh, yeah, Lou. Sorry, that's a line from Seinfeld.
Starbucks is pretty nasty, but you know what? It's fine. And we're just talking about it being there was a Starbucks cup in a Game of Thrones episode.
Was there?
By accident. There was.
Was it during the Red Wedding sequence?
No, it was in the last season. It was like Daenerys was It was after the Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah,
And they were like giving out awards and like patting everybody's back. And she was like, made Gendry royal, or whatever, gave him a title, and everybody's cheering on Jon Snow. And right next to her on the table was a Starbucks cup the entire time.
Wow. Nice job, production coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a whole big thing
Meme.
about it.
Wasn't there a meme about it? Like, hey, when you're living in the Dragon Age, just make sure to have a Starbucks cup.
Oh, we can't do that one. Everybody will already know that one.
Darn it. Don't you just hate it when that happens?
Oh, okay. All right. Another great movie that everybody loves, Jurassic Park.
Life finds
life changing. The special effects in there still stand up to
30 years later, by the way, they still stand up.
They do. So the noises the velociraptors made are actually the noises of what type of animal mating? Oh yes. They were getting it on. That's the noise.
The crazy animals were getting their freak on that night.
Yes. Okay. There was mating animals was the noises of the velociraptors. Little known fact. So what animal was it? Al, you're cracking me up in the chat. A, tortoises. B, frogs. C, lizards. And D, crocodiles. E, Al says Pop's farting. Thanks, Al.
Inappropriateness. Come on now, guys. Come on. Let it go. Let it go. Save it for the show for later. Don't do it on this one.
One vote for frogs. Tortoise, frog, lizard, crocodiles. I think you mean tortoise, but yes. We can put tortoise on there.
Okay.
His answer
is. So the options are tortoises. The options are
frogs, lizards, or crocodiles.
Oh man,
Brittany, the first option was tortoise.
I'm torn.
Frogs, lizards, or crocodiles. The question is, some of the velociraptor noises in Jurassic Park are actually which animals mating? Let's get it on.
Anyway, Marvin Gaye. I think that's a song by Marvin Gaye.
Loud.
Anyway,
Al, I don't think there's a write-in option for this one either.
No, it's not. I think the correct answer may in fact be crocodiles. I'm going to say crocodiles, and if I'm wrong, then I should have gone with the other thing I was thinking of. But I'm going to say crocodiles is the answer.
Tortoise.
I'm going to say crocodiles. Because those velociraptors were loud, guys. Like, seriously, they were loud.
Crocs.
Yeah, crocodiles.
Crocs. Chicken nuggets.
Just say it.
Chicken nuggets.
Not chicken nuggets. Get out of here.
Nem here. Nem says, good morning. And he says frogs as well. The answer is tortoise. So we're going to give a point here to Doc. It was actually the tortoise's mating was the sound for the mating for the velociraptors in Jurassic Park. Hello, Nem. Good morning.
I guess those turtles
Thanks for joining for our second half of the show where we are testing Ryan's nerd movie knowledge.
Hi, Nem.
And the chat, we all get to have fun. Winner of the contest gets free PDFs of Path of the Pale Rider 1 through 3.
Who's the winner? Who won this thing?
Well, so far you're in the lead.
Okay.
Doc is close. Doc and Pops are close.
I can't believe it was tortoises. That's crazy. I didn't think tortoises could get that loud when they're freaking out. But okay. Well done, Jurassic Park aficionados. For those of you who got that right. I think only one person got that right, though. So.
Oh, that's weird.
That is so crazy.
Really?
That was tortoises for velociraptor.
No, this question, I've never seen this before. I got to research this. This is nerdy movie trivia that I would like to see if it's true or not. I know, seriously, how big were these tortoises?
I know, seriously, because crocodiles can make
like, they just put like two tortoises in a room and like put a mic on them. Like, how did they even capture? I don't know.
Probably gave them
can I pop in for? Yeah, of course. Of course, you can pop in and tell us a Roku update at the end of the show. So this is a great question. I had no idea which two movies started from the same script. Now, we see this a lot in Hollywood where there's two movies that are vaguely similar that like one writer has a great idea and they adapt it into two different movies. We see that a lot, but these are really different. Okay, so your options are Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah, right. E.T. and Poltergeist, The Goonies and Indiana Jones, or our one we just talked about, Jurassic Park and The Land Before Time. Which two? I know. That's two of these started from the same script, and it's like I need to research this and see if this is true. So your options again: Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T. and Poltergeist, The Goonies and Indiana Jones, or Jurassic Park and The Land Before Time. Brittany says Goonies and Jones.
Wow, man, Hollywood's got some strange stories. For sure, guys, for sure.
Another vote for Goonies and Indy.
Star Wars and Close Encounters, Poltergeist and E.T.
Yep. Goonies and Indy.
Wait. Goonies is.
Ooh, brave, Dave.
I'm gonna.
E.T. and Poltergeist.
You know, I'm gonna take a. I don't think Lucas and Spielberg would want to copy off each other because then that would ruin their friendship between Close Encounters and Star Wars, because that would ruin their friendship for life if you were copying off each other's scripts and using the same opening shot in your frame. So I'm gonna say E.T. and Poltergeist were borrowed from the same script. I'm gonna say E.T. because you want to know my reasoning for that?
Yeah, tell me.
Because they were both distributed by the same studio. The same studio owns the rights to Poltergeist and E.T., so that's why I'm going with those two. Yeah.
Bernie says, I kind of want to say that, but I think heard Goonies, so I'm going with that.
Goonies and Raiders, yeah, I could see that, but they're owned by two very different types of studios, so yeah, I'm going with E.T. and Poltergeist on this one. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it's, you know.
I'm impressed with you guys. I would not have gotten this one right. It is E.T. and Poltergeist.
Yep, I knew it because they're owned by the same studio.
A point for Pops, a point for Doc.
That's what happens when you're owned by the same studio. You can copy off each other's scripts.
They are the same studio, and I guess that's the giveaway.
Universal.
I think E.T. and Poltergeist because they both have lurkers in the house. Yeah, that makes sense.
MCA Universal. Yeah.
I was like, there's just one's an alien, they're really different feels. You know what I mean? They went to two different audiences. Just I would be interested to see, the script for that before they adapted
and Poltergeist got the same first shot from the same script. That's crazy. More real stuff. Hey, it's all right, man. Nerd trivia is different for everybody. It's okay. If you know it, you know it. And if you don't know it, it's okay.
That's funny. Oh, man.
Some people are having too much fun with those comments.
Oh,
good questions, guys.
We all know this one.
Do we?
Yeah.
You want to throw it out there to the field or no?
Yeah, let's give everybody a point. Ready?
Let's give everybody a freebie.
Which movie is this quote from? What's in the box? You got some options.
Okay.
What's in the box? Speed.
Ooh, that's one.
Reservoir Dogs.
That's a good one.
The Boondock Saints.
I haven't seen that yet. I'm sorry, I haven't seen Boondock Saints 1, 2, and 3 yet. I haven't seen the double.
Oh no, don't see any of the sequels. Just see the first one.
Just see the first one.
Yeah, just see the first Boondock Saints. It's really good. Then 7.
Oh,
so those are your options.
Okay,
I would say Boondock Saints is probably in my top 5 perfect movies.
Once again, this discussion called Perfect Movies Part 2, coming soon to Nerd Culture Channel near you, is going to star yours truly. Laurie's going to be one of our panelists, and I think Brittany may want to chime in on that as well.
Yeah. I would. If Brittany's there, I will definitely be there.
Yeah.
All right. So we have one vote.
Hey, Brittany, send me your info. Send me a DM so we can put you on the list for guests. Once we get the dates and the time schedule, because I got to talk to Laurie about that too.
F and 7.
Well, the correct answer to this one is, I mean, let's be honest. If you haven't seen this movie at least once, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice. So I've seen this movie, so you don't have to come at me, bro, in the comments, okay? Just give me a rest. Brittany says, yes, I want to come. I want to be there.
Yes,
yay.
Let's talk movies.
Brittany, send me a DM. Send me your info so I can send you the links to some stuff. Anyway, the correct answer is, what's in the box? What's in the box? It's 7. 7. Okay? Because that meme has been
in
used.
the box.
That meme has been used, Laurie, millions of times on the internet. I don't know if you're familiar with that meme.
Yeah, I've used it personally.
Have you used it personally? Have you used it?
Oh yeah, and I even like in my Choose Your Own Adventure book, there is a path where you have to ask yourself what's in the box.
That's great. I gotta look at that page, by the way. Send me the links. But anyway, yeah. What's in the box? You know, when people do unboxing videos on YouTube, someone should be shouting from the rooftops in the comment section, "What's in the box?"
There's two kind of in the box memes. There's the what's in the box with Brad Pitt, and then there's first you put a hole in the box.
Oh,
and
that
a
box.
Different meme.
Put your junk in that box. Make it open the box. I'm sorry, that's a sketch that goes back how many years now? 25 years?
Oh, does it really?
Does it go back 23 years, guys?
I feel
Let us know when that
old.
happened. Was that in 2000 or 2003? Let us know. Does anyone know when that sketch came out originally?
With Justin Timberlake and Andy
With JT
Samberg.
and what's his face? Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg.
Is that the other guy, Andy Samberg?
Yeah, and then
when did
it's
that happen?
their group Lonely Island, which
Yeah,
does
and then
all the funny
by the way,
music.
did you know what the sequel was?
What?
The sequel was Mother Lover.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, with Susan Sarandon.
I love Lonely Island. They're great. They do. I Threw It on the Ground, which
Really?
if you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's hilarious.
I haven't seen
The Boombox. Boombox is great.
The Boombox.
And then of course they have one with
What's the other one?
Michael.
Is it Christina Aguilera's in one of them?
I don't think so.
I thought
What's
she
the
starred in
singer?
one of them.
Michael. He
Michael
loves
Jackson.
Jack Sparrow. It's called Jack Sparrow. Michael Bolton.
Oh, Michael
That
Bolton.
one is so funny.
Jack Sparrow.
He's like, why are we singing about, like, they're trying to have a rap song. Yeah. And Michael Bolton keeps singing about Jack Sparrow in the middle of the song. It's so funny. But go watch. So I threw it on the ground.
I threw it on the ground. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, my dad is not
a cell phone.
Is that what he said? My dad is not a cell phone, Brittany?
If you have not fallen into the Lonely Island rabbit hole yet,
not yet.
You should go do it. It's so funny. They have so many. They did on a boat with I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah. Brittany, we just became best friends all over again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Lonely Island.
All three of us can be friends, Brittany. It's all good.
No, my friend.
My friend. No, Brittany can be my friend if she wants to. I don't know. Who knows?
Just teasing.
I'm just saying, Brittany. But yeah.
Okay. Here's a classic.
Is there a classic?
Yeah. Yes.
What is it?
Gremlins.
What's the question?
What? Which isn't a core rule for handling a Mogwai in Gremlins?
Darn it.
Not a rule. Okay.
It's not a rule.
Which one is not a rule? So I'm going to read them all, and you have to pick the one that is not a rule.
Not a rule.
Oh, we're not going to give you cliff notes. You gotta.
No, we're not going to give you cliff notes, Doc. You got to go back and watch the replay later.
All right. Which one is not a rule in Gremlins? A, do not feed after midnight. B, do not expose to bright lights. C, do not let it get wet. Or D, do not let it get cold. So again, 3 of those are rules of how to handle a Mogwai in Gremlins. One of them does not belong. Again, A, do not feed it after midnight. B, do not expose it to bright lights. C, do not get it wet. And D, do not let it get cold. Doc, are you stuck on the keyboard?
Cuckoo Puffs.
B.
What option was B again? I don't even remember.
B was do not expose it to bright lights.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, don't expose it. Yeah, you know what? Now that I've seen the original Gremlins and I understand the rules, gee whiz, you don't know the rules? Oh, man, have an aneurysm, why don't you? There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. Anyway, that's a line from another movie. I'm going to say B, don't expose it to bright lights, because they don't care. They don't care.
The answer is D, do not let it get cold.
Oh.
So, don't feed it after midnight.
Yeah,
that's how they turn from Mogwai to Gremlin.
Don't let it get wet. I knew that.
Don't let it get wet. They multiply.
Yeah, that was a rule.
Do not expose to bright lights. He just doesn't like it. Do not let it get
Gizmo.
cold.
Yeah, darn it. Okay, yeah.
I mean, they had a whole Christmas one, and they run around outside and breaking into houses. So
But
you
then
do not let it
again,
get cold. It didn't care. Everybody gets points for that one, pretty
yeah,
much.
okay, thanks.
My B choice was bogus.
I don't know what's going on. Did I win these?
Oh my God, I'm the
PDFs
winner
yet?
of everything I'm competed in now. Wow, Brittany gets all the points.
Did I
all
win
the
any
points.
PDFs or not yet?
You're still in the lead, but I think
Jeez.
I'll send you PDFs, and I will send someone in the chat PDFs as well.
Yay, because
So,
PDFs are fun.
Pops already has all the PDFs, so
Yeah, well, that's
he
because
can't
Pops
win.
runs the network, so he has access to everything. You literally have the keys to the castle, man. You literally do.
No, he's been a supporter of Path of the Pale Rider since the beginning.
Oh, touche. Which, I don't think this isn't remotely possible, but we should do like a quote off from the movie Pale Rider.
No,
Yeah.
I'm afraid of you with quotes. You
No.
always win.
I'm not saying that we quiz each other. I'm just saying that we look into the camera and just, reenact a scene.
No one would watch that.
What are you talking about? People would love to
one
watch
would
us
watch
reenact
that.
scenes from movies. It's fun. Look at the video that we did. It's on our channel. I did a project years and years ago with my friend's YouTube channel, and people loved it. We reenacted a scene from '89's Batman. We did. It was fun.
Gosh. All right, next question. This one I think people would know. This is pretty well known.
Probably.
Which famous line from Jaws was ad-libbed? Okay.
Ooh.
So it's Jaws. One of the lines from the movie that's pretty well known
was
ad-libbed. Okay, so your choices are A, I used to hate the water. B, you're gonna need a bigger boat. C, all this machine does is swim and eat and make little sharks. Or D, a thing about a shark. He's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. One of those was ad-libbed. Again, I used to hate the water. B, you're going to need a bigger boat. C, all this machine does is swim, eat, and make little sharks. Or D, a thing like a shark. He's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like doll's eyes.
This thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, dark eyes, black eyes, like doll's eyes. I'm going to take a swing for the fences here because I don't think it's Captain Obvious where you need a bigger boat. I think the line where the character looks out at another character and says, "You know what? I used to hate the water." I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna swing for the fences and throw a curveball. I'm gonna go with that one. It's probably dead wrong, but
it's you're gonna need a bigger boat.
That one, what man? That doesn't sound like it was ad-libbed.
The chat is right. They got it.
Man, well done, Roy Scheider. Well done.
Yeah, it was a good line. Remember, he was panicking at that point where he was chumming the water.
Yeah.
And then
Bruce comes up, tries to eat him for lunch, and he's like, "What the frack is this?"
He just like stood up, and his hair's all blown in the wind, and he's just like, "We're gonna need a bigger boat."
Yeah, you think you like chumming this? Try chumming some of this stuff. Yeah. I didn't know.
I didn't know he was the ad-lib man.
I didn't know he was ad-libbing that classic line because honestly, that felt like natural to me. It felt like it was a natural script thing.
Jaws is a great lesson in building anxiety as well. It's also that
because you
don't show the monster.
Yeah, you don't see it till 45 minutes into the movie.
Right. It's so much more terrifying to not. And once the monster is revealed, sometimes it's like, oh, it's just that. Like I just recently, I saw. Well, just recently, it was last year. Smile.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that one. I wanted to see
great movie. I highly recommend it to anybody who likes horror. I jumped a few times. I think I screamed out loud at one point. And I even knew the jump scare was coming, and I still screamed out loud.
Wow.
And but once the monster shows up, it changes. You know what I mean? Really? It's almost scarier to not see the monster. So yeah, that shark is like, okay.
Wow,
yeah.
You're gonna need
I don't think anybody went in the water for a long time after that movie.
No one went into the water. After
yes, people, make sure if you're watching, make sure you click our like button. We have lots of great stuff on this show, on this
Yeah,
channel.
apparently Doc's telling me I got to watch the Doc show on Wednesdays. So,
Doc has a great show. He does
Yeah.
this. I always enjoy watching Doc show for the meme review. That is my favorite. And then of course Tanner Hurley does the great moments in history for comics. I think I butchered that, but
wow, that's a big
it's great
segment.
because he gives you a little bit of history about comics. I love
History?
Smile too. I tried to watch and emulate Smile when I did my last short film, the third one, but it's really hard to film yourself. It was just me filming myself for most of it, and that's hard. So I don't think I quite nailed it, but that's kind of what I was going for. Some of those quiet moments, those claustrophobic moments. Fat lady puke when her head popped off the boat.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, dude.
We're still talking about Jaws.
The movie's good. The movie's good. I mean, it stands the test of time. It's a 45 going on 50-year-old film now. So well done, Spielberg. Well done. Yeah, that terrified people. I don't think people went into the water for years, and then they did the sequel, Jaws 2 in '78, and then people didn't want to go back into the water again for a while. So
yeah. Every time I think everybody, well, that and poor sharks always got killed after that. We're like, kill it.
They had to put together like anti-shark killing laws because sharks, not all sharks are vicious creatures. So it's true.
Trying to find another good one. You have not seen Apocalypse Now, so we're going to skip
good shark
that.
documentaries out there. If everyone's curious. I mean, heck, there's one called
Sharknado?
No. That's trash. That's trash. But I'm talking about documentaries about sharks. There's one called Journey into Shark Eden, and I'm thinking, whoa, an entire kingdom full of nothing but sharks. Yeah, that's not something I want to swim around with necessarily. I don't know. It depends on the shark.
Bradley Cooper.
Hammerhead sharks, tiger sharks, bull sharks, great whites.
Some of these are too easy or just obscure.
Well, you could always end the game and you can ask me more questions about my You True Hollywood story.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
Let's end the game. Let's see. So today, wow, Ryan, you are the all-time winner of the game. Congratulations. You beat everybody.
Thank you.
And the second runner-up was actually Doc.
Way to go, Doc.
Congratulations, Doc.
Way to go, Doc.
I will be sending the full PDFs of 1 through 3 Path of the Pale Rider to both Ryan and Doc.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
You get to read the story.
Yeah. I get to read a story where I don't die every 2 seconds.
Well, I mean, that's just the choose your own adventure. But in the comic series, you get to watch everybody else die every 2 seconds. So.
Oh, great! Thanks. That's going to give me great images to fall asleep to tonight, this evening. Thank you, Laurie.
It's a fun time.
Thanks for scaring the living heck out of me with Path of the Pale Rider. Oh, hammerhead sharks hunt at night. That's a fun fact. Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate that. Oh, look.
Hello,
who's this dude? Look who just walked into the studio unannounced.
I have a final question.
Oh,
God.
It has multiple answers.
Great. Sure it does.
Why, thank you, Brittany.
What are the products shielded in the commercial scene of Wayne's World?
What are the... Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. Come on, what are they?
No, I love this question. I love it. Do you want me to raffle them off or what?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know them all, so go ahead.
Okay, so let me just make this clear. So during the sequence between Rob Lowe and Dana Carvey and Mike Myers. So anyway, so you got Nike athletic wear that Garth is wearing at one point, right? Does that count? Okay. So you have Nike athletic gear. That's one. Pepsi. It's the choice of a new generation.
Yep.
Pizza Hut.
Doritos.
Doritos, nacho cheese, I believe. The orange bag. Yeah, so that's Doritos. That's 4. And then you got
and my favorite.
Nuprin, little, yellow, different. Yeah, the pills, the headache pills. Is that what they're called? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one. And then is that it, Pops? Or is there
think
more?
That's it. I think there was 5.
Ooh. We are all impressed.
Thank you. That's how many times I've seen that movie. One too many times, Pops.
I've probably seen it 100 times. I don't know.
Oh,
it's like Tombstone. It's one of those when you're scrolling through and you see that it's on, you just click it and watch the rest of it, no matter where you're at.
By the way, the whole sponsor scene is one of the best.
It's hilarious. Yes.
Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but to me, the beast doesn't include selling out.
Exactly.
Yes, and it's the choice of a new generation. That's right. That's right. That's why we drink that. Well, I don't drink it anymore, but I used to. Back in the day, Pops. I was a Pepsi guy.
I quit drinking Pepsi about 3 months ago. I quit drinking pretty much most all soda because
Yeah, I quit it
I
years
got
ago.
some kind of a stomach issue, and I'm trying to figure out what's causing it.
No more Pepsi, no more Coca-Cola, no more of that. No. Sorry. It's not
still have the problem, but I don't have the Pepsi now.
I don't have the Pepsi. I don't buy it, period. But what was the
Brittany's so cool she needs to wear shades.
She needs to wear shades. That's funny. That's a great question. That's a great trivia question, by the way. That's a perfect one.
Yeah. We got about 15 minutes left. I had one more question that we didn't answer, Ryan, and not trivia, that I was curious about.
Ask me anything you want.
It's interesting because everybody that's in our chat, pretty much that I've seen, all has a show. They're all podcasters.
That's awesome.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because
we should collaborate someday.
Yeah, but my question to you was, and let's give it about let's wrap up in about 7 minutes, and then I want to hear what Doc has to say. I'm sorry, Pops. My brain always does that shit. What Pops has to say about the Roku update, because I know we're kind of figuring that out too. But I wanted to hear from you. Why did you choose to become a podcaster?
Great question. So, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I was at the age of 6, and I realized what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I know 6 years old. It's too early, right? But I figured it out, and I said, you know what? I love watching movies. I love quoting them. I like entertaining my fellow classmates when I was in school at the time. And I thought, I want to be an actor. I want to be like Jim Carrey or Robin Williams, one of those guys, because I love making people laugh. I love just putting smiles on people's faces and them laughing with me, not at me. Because we all know how bullying can go in school. So we were all there. We were all victims. We've all been there. Anyway, so I realized that. And then as time went on, I realized, well, if you want to be an actor, you got to go through like a billion no's just to get to your first yes from a casting director. And I didn't want to necessarily go through all that pain and suffering, because I know it's not easy being an actor no matter where you are in the world. So I thought, you know what? Instead of being an actor, why don't I just focus on doing something that still lets me be an entertainer, but just in a different way. And I got together with some friends when I was in after high school, and then in college I got together with some people, and what ended up happening was we created a YouTube channel called Nerd Culture, and that enabled me to be the entertainer I was meant to be, which in this case is interviewing people and doing shows that I want to do, that I'm passionate about, and not having to worry about some corporate overlord hovering over me telling me you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way. Because being your own boss is so much fun, ladies and gentlemen. Has anyone noticed that in the last 15, 20 years we've been on this earth? Yeah, you should. So instead of being an actor, I realized I can be an entertainer, but I can do it in a different way. So nowadays, I get the pleasure of being my own person and being my true self, which in this case is being a hardcore geek/nerd. So if I want to talk about War in the Stars, I'm going to talk about Star Wars. If I want to talk about Westerns with my BFF Laurie, I'm going to talk about Westerns. If I want to talk about things that I collect, like posters, for example, I'm going to talk about posters. So I wanted to be a content creator because you can be your own boss. You can be as creative as you want. And there are millions of resources out there that are at your fingertips. And if you got a question about something, just send a DM to one of your BFFs on Facebook, because they'll answer it for you. Trust me. I know people who know people who know people. So that's why I decided to become a content creator, because I realized I can't really be an actor. I mean, I could have tried that. I could have given it a whirl. Maybe I could have been successful, maybe not. But we'll never know.
It's just a hard path to walk.
It really is.
It's a lot. It's a lot of,
and you're by yourself most of the time.
Yeah, by yourself, and it's just
everybody's
a lot
out for themselves. Like nobody really wants to help you,
right?
In certain cases, because it's a dog eat dog world. But when you're a content creator and a podcaster, it's an open field, because YouTube is massive. You can put up as long as you have a camera and a microphone and a passion for whatever it is that you want to talk about. Tapestry. This is a good looking tapestry, isn't it? It's beautiful. That the one that's
beautiful tapestry.
Tapestries, it's great. So tapestries. Anyway, that's an Indiana Jones line.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, you got that reference, Laurie. If you didn't get that reference, I was going to smite you. But anyway, not that I would ever do that. I don't have that kind of power yet. So I'm not like Thor, the god of thunder. So yeah, I realized I could be an entertainer. So that's why I do it. I love meeting new people. The beauty of being a content creator, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is that you get to meet new people every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. And the more people you meet, the more connections you build, the bigger your network is. So that's what I got. And honestly, Laurie, that's all I got to say about that. Does that answer your $2 billion question?
It does. And thank you so much for coming on the show and answering all my questions and playing trivia.
Yeah.
I kind of threw that at you as you walked in the door of the show. I was like, oh, and by the way.
Yeah,
but
thanks.
that was a ton of fun. I loved it. That was great.
Yeah, now I have to turn the tables on you and ask you some questions. Maybe I can ask Brittany some questions. I don't know.
Yeah, I would love to. I'm really interested in doing either a cult classic or the perfect movie
Perfect Movies
show.
Part 2
Yeah,
on Nerd
yeah,
Culture.
I would definitely do that. That would be a lot of fun. But for the man of the hour, Pops Van Zandt, thank you so much for popping in at the end of the show, Pops.
No pun intended.
Pun intended.
No pun
and
intended.
Why don't you give everybody an update about the Roku? We pushed really hard. We made a ton of progress, but we knew from the beginning that it was going to be an uphill battle because nobody has done it before.
Never.
So I'm kind of like, Pops, we don't sit idly, and it didn't work that time. But what else is on the horizon for the Roku?
Max gave us an option, okay, which basically won't change anything. End game will still be $5,000 for everything we were offering, but we can get it up there for about $3,500 with just shows starting fresh going forward with no uploaded content. If we don't pay the $1,700 for the server, we can get by on Max's VPN server with just the new content going forward. You see what I'm saying? We wouldn't be trying to upload 3,000 videos, okay? But we can put the uploaded content as a stretch goal at $5,000, and when we get to $5,000, we will add the 3 tiers for upgraded uploads for the shows. Okay, so you can upload more stuff. If we get to $5,000, then we'll have the money to buy the server. So the first stretch goal will be $5,000 to pay for the servers to upload everybody's content. Then we will add the 3 extra tiers where you can upgrade from the basic to however many videos you want to upload. We're just not adding that on until we get to that point. So we can get it going for about 35. We made it to 32.
Yeah.
So we can get this thing going for about 35. So we're going to do it again, but we're also going to set up the Roku preview.
Oh.
So that people will be able to see what it looks like on the campaign page. And they'll be able to go look at it. And they'll see what it is we're doing. It won't just be the words we're saying. Okay?
Okay. I think that's awesome.
Tug's internet guy. He's the one that gave me the idea to make sure that people could see what it is we're selling. We weren't showing them the actual product.
And that's hard. It's a hard sell when there's nothing there, right?
Right.
What am I getting?
The preview up. So Max is going to put the preview channel up on Roku, so we'll be able to show you what we're selling you, or what we're asking you to help us build, I should say. You know, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see what it's going to look like. You'll be able to have an idea what it is. Now, obviously, some of the perks will change. We won't necessarily have all the same perks, but we have some new ones, guys. We got new stuff like this beautiful crown tapestry right here.
Speaking of tapestries,
Tapestry Day.
We are going to make those available on the campaign. So
cool.
If you want a chrome tapestry, it's a black light tapestry. It does it looks really cool under the black light. So, you know, there'll be a couple different things, but I mean, for the most part, the campaign will be the same. The goal to build the whole thing the way we wanted to build it is still $5,000, but we can get it up there for about 35. So
or at least get it up and running, which is the goal. We just want it up and running, and then we can continue. You know what I mean? To build it.
Now, once we get it up and running, the same deal. Okay, even if we don't get to the 5,000 stretch goal. Okay, once we get it up and running, then we will go like to Fund My Comic and do a side-by-side, and we'll try to get the extra funding that we need through a different crowdfunding site.
That makes sense.
Okay, and then get the server up. And then we can upload everybody's stuff anyway. Okay, the end goal is still to make this the biggest, baddest thing on Roku. That's still the end goal, guys. Financing is hard. You guys all know it. I don't know exactly when we're going to relaunch it. There's a few things we still have to work out. We're going to have a meeting Thursday night. Some of the team, we're going to get out there and we're going to try to beat the holds out of this thing, you know, and then we're going to go. So I hope y'all, everybody who pledged, everybody who wanted to bring their show or bring an ad, look, the ad tiers and stuff aren't going to change. All that stuff's going to be the same. Okay, we're not going to change anything. We're just going to pull down the 3 upload tiers until we get to the $5,000 stretch goal, and then we'll put the upload tiers up there, and you can upgrade to whatever you want. Okay, but let's get it up and running, guys. So
Yeah.
that's the goal. You know.
Yes. Ryan and I both want our shows on the Roku.
Yeah, yeah. That would be nice. You know, get more eyes on our content, entertain millions of people worldwide. I mean, that'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it?
I just want an excuse to go smash more things. I figured out how to light my sledgehammer on fire.
Oh, that's not an image.
See, this is important. This is important stuff.
It is. Yeah, smashing things with a sledgehammer.
Being able to light it on fire because it didn't work.
It didn't work. I doused it in it, but it had like, you know, I spray painted it, so I think paint, it wouldn't stay lit. But I figured it out, and I figured out a way to make it super cool because my dad is a genius and an engineer, so we're gonna engineer the heck out of this thing, and it's gonna have blue flames. It'll be awesome. Blue or green? Haven't decided the color
yet.
Have
family and friends in high places.
Dude, my dad's the best. He came over. He's like, you want to build a modified sledgehammer? I'm on it. So he definitely was a key. He was influential in the radius of destruction for Ichabod Craven.
That's awesome. Thanks, Dad. That's cool.
Dad, I know he was there to make sure I didn't light on fire too. He had.
Well done, guys. Let's make this Roku a reality. Let's make dreams come true. Let's rock.
I would love to do some smash ads. I would love to do some smash ads. It was smash anything with your name on it. You just let me know, and then we.
I'm just here to entertain people. I just hope they get some entertainment value from us. So who knows?
Yeah, I just should smash things on my TikTok and make that a thing.
Yeah, I would watch that. I'd buy that for $1.
Exactly. Well, that's the plan. That's the plan, is to try again. I mean, the only thing we can do is
if at first you don't succeed, you try again. That's what you do.
Stand up and brush it off and try again. I think what you guys did is look at the budget and see what, what's possible. And I think it's smart what you're doing to relaunch. Make sure you take a day off for yourself, for your own sanity, because, crowdfunding and campaigning for 60 days straight and to go back into another campaign, the burnout is real. So make sure for your sanity that you take at least a day. No? Pops?
No, I would agree.
He's like, nope, we're going to make this thing happen. It's going to kill me.
Warrior. He's fighting the good fight on that keyboard of his. That's what he's doing. Which is fine with us.
You know me. I'm going to say what I got to say.
Keyboards.
You gotta say what I got to say.
Good for you guys. Bring this Roku thing back. It didn't work out the first time. Doesn't mean it can't work again. Who knows? Anything's possible.
I mean, usually when you're the first one to do something, it's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah. When you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Isn't that what Doc Brown?
You know what's better? You know what's better than Pariah Blood and Mud tapestries? The freaking book, baby. Yeah. The book.
Tapestries. All of a sudden, everyone's obsessed with my tapestry behind me. It's crazy.
Oh no! That's this Crom one was made last year for the Cromniverse campaign.
Even better.
If your gift was the tapestries, then I am Mickey Mouse.
How dare he? Oh my gosh, that's my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I love that. You know what? I mean, I think didn't I put that on my list last time I was on that show? Yeah, Perfect Movies. I think Last Crusade was in my 5.
I think that's a great movie too. Yeah, I would say. Okay, all right. I think I finally found 5.
Oh, you did?
Because I was skeptical that I had 5.
You wrote it down
on my list. I'm gonna have to write them down.
Please write them down and then bring them to the show when I send you the links for Perfect Movies Part 2. It's coming soon to Nerd Culture Channel, hosted by Ryan, and then Laurie's going to be one of our guests. Brittany's going to be there. Who else? I'm gonna get 3 other people together for that show. It's going to be fun.
I think Nem would be a great one. Nem is a movie cinemaphile, just like.
Oh, Nem is a cinephile.
Yeah.
Well, send me the contact info for Brittany and Nem then. Let's get this thing going. Send me those links, guys. You know how to DM me. Just DM me on Facebook.
You guys know Brian Christgau is big on movies.
Of course. Well, he's the master.
Horror and westerns and everything, right? Okay, so you might want to throw Brian a little invite to that one.
Oh, Brian on that one? Okay.
Well, Yeah, we're all kind of
And Christgau is movie aficionado.
fans too. Oh, do you want to come too, Doc? Doc's like, hello, in my chopped liver.
My not
I mean,
sitting right
if you
here.
want to, I mean, just send me all your links so I can send you guys all the info. That's what I got to do. So just DM me on Facebook. It's all good, guys.
Everybody's in the madness. You can all
Everybody's in
find
the
it.
madness. Everybody's a part of this crazy dysfunctional family. But you know what, Laurie? This was fun. Thanks for having me. If you ever want to have me back for a Ryan Permison sequel, let me know. I'm more than happy to come back.
And please, people, in the link I dropped Ryan's link tree. Make sure you check it out. You will find all of his socials.
Wow, Doc owns over 2,000 movies. Holy crap. That is a lot, man.
Here's look, this is perfect because we talked about all the different podcasts that Ryan does, and we kind of broke them down and like who's the audience and stuff like that. But I mean, here's a link to all of them. He has all of his socials there as well: Facebook, X, Twitter, email. I don't know what's the wavy hand.
LinkedIn.
And then
I think the IN stands for LinkedIn. Just by the way, the hand that's going like this, the little hand gesture, that's Clubhouse. Yeah, it's an audio app. For those of you who are wondering what that is, it's an audio app. You can download it on your phone or computer system. Feel free to download it if you want. But anyway, yeah, that's where you can follow me on social media. There's links to my video feed. There's links to my audio feed of And I Quote. If you don't want to look at my ugly face and you just want to hear my golden throat of a voice, look at the audio. Listen to the audio feed. If you want to be a guest on And I Quote, there's a guest sign up right there. I mean, Laurie, you may want to get on that. Neuroculture channel, just for the channel in general. If you want to check out all the stuff that we're doing, that's there. And then long time ago, we haven't done the show in a while, but Comic Books, the New Class is something I was doing between Crayley Vanest, one half of Phoenix Sisters Cosplay, and myself, where we're like new readers to comics, and we're sharing with you some of the stuff that we've read and some of the things we recommend to people, so you can go back and watch those archived episodes to see how good we looked way back when. I mean, we still look good today. I mean, we're pretty good looking people, but feel free to check out Comic Books, the New Class. If you're new to comics and you're not sure where to start, we give you great videos on where to start, some of the titles that we're a fan of and other stuff like that. And also, Laurie, I think you're going to love this one, right? Because you like comic books, right? So
I do. On
Thursday, November the 9th at 2 p.m. Eastern time, I'm interviewing one of the biggest names in the history of comics. His name just happens to be Mark Waid. Mark Waid, who's been in the business for over 4 freaking decades. He's written one of the highest selling graphic novels of all time, known as DC's Kingdom Come. He's written Star Wars, Princess Leia. He's written World's Finest. He's written Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. I mean, Mark Waid has written anything and everything there is to be in comics, including Irredeemable for Boom Comics. So,
wow.
If you want to meet the myth, the man, the legend known as Mark Waid, join us on Thursday, November the 9th at 2 p.m. Eastern time for And I Quote, because we will be taking questions. And like I said, everything we do at Neuroculture is live and in living color. So
great.
Join us, ask Mark Waid questions, bring all the questions for all the shows we got coming up soon, because man, we got so much coming your way, and I'm very, very excited for Friday's episode of The Meeting of Fandom at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And if you're into Star Wars, join us tonight, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern
not Monday.
time. The Nerdy Cantina, free blue milks, free drinks, free food. We just don't serve droids here. They'll have to wait outside. We don't want them here. But you can join us if you're a Star Warsian, like myself. Look at my shirt, for Pete's sake. I'm wearing a Han Solo shirt. Join us tonight, 8 p.m., and we're going to be all fine. We're all fine here. Now, thank you, Laurie, for having me. How are you?
And that is the show, my peeps. This is the wrap. And join us next week for another incredible guest. I can't remember who.
Yeah, I don't remember who it is either.
And I love you all. Be awesome to each other. And I will see you next week.
Madness Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network, with original programming and additional comic-related content.
The Civil War was America's bloodiest conflict. Over 500,000 died to preserve national unity. When the war ended, Confederates like Harley Brogdon headed west, shooting game for the Army and gambling. When a card game turns deadly, Harley shoots in self-defense, killing the card sharp who threw down first. Wilfred Knorr, the card sharp's wealthy father, will stop at nothing to see Harley hang. Harley flees to Cobb's Gap, an old silver mining town at the foot of the Rockies. A remarkably peaceful town, especially after dark. But the sheriff harbors a dark secret, and no one dares go into the mines anymore. Cobb's Gap is full of secrets. People speak in hushed tones of something in the mine. Something worse than their cursed sheriff. Something even the Indians fear from the deepest pits of hell. Every secret will be exposed. Bronze Star. Order your copy at bronzestarcomic.com.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.